Can we get a closet in here?
Yes.
No, but you can touch my special man.
Wondrous power. The
I
dark
bet you say that to all the guys.
I have better things. You wish to test rise, my soldiers. This meeting of the assembly of shadows is adjourned. Fall on you.
I see endless suffering.
All right, let's see what gem the helm gives me today.
I have a skull head and a beard.
Oh, a speed gem.
Shadow gonna fall on you.
Oh, that's better than a lot of them.
I got a sparkle gem.
Shrinky gem.
Well, that's
oh boy.
the important thing. Sparkling, isn't it?
Heretics, you will suffer
It is
for this
important,
interruption.
yes.
So tiny.
Start doing trash.
Bask in his power. I will rise as an agent of the Master's rage.
Strength to provide a worthy challenge.
Well done. Your soul gone up.
Ooh, I got some wriggling goop.
Ooh.
Congrats.
Sounds like
That'll be.
Is that anything like that slime that you used to have?
Yep.
with the
It's a slime.
play toy?
Total. It's the Protos.
Hello.
Got much later than I thought because, well, the storms.
Pop the DPS roll.
crippled without using a.
Ruby, I'm coming for you. Oh, never mind.
It's weird. I just played my shaman for like half an hour, and I keep playing cast chain lightning.
You had a red Zetter?
I'm taking my time.
Can I get an invite?
Yes. Where's Buckhorn?
Free raid ritual might be going long.
Stop.
So we're supposed to use the void stone and trash when that priest was
It's hard because you don't have a good way to clear the shield. But otherwise, yes, you would want to use it to prevent the heal.
Because I assume this trash is designed to be like a tutorial for the boss.
Enjoy your final moments. Glory to the Master! Blood will flow!
Get inside the shield.
These slowly mortals desecrate your shrine, Master. Let us drown them and wash away their defiance.
Okay, let's get a summon stone up for the remainder.
They may yet prove worthy of my gift. Let it be as you command. They will serve, or they will die.
Don't drop food yet. I want to test something on the first couple pulls, and it's not going to be legitimate. Don't want to waste it.
Like how you admit you're making us die illegitimately just a couple times.
Well, it's legitimate, but there's no point in having food for it. So if you have been following raid strategy, there's a few adjustments that I want to make to the strategy. Mainly, we want to try using the trident to do certain mechanics or to mitigate some of the mechanics a little bit. So the idea, the main one that we want to deal with is the I-beam in phase 3. And so I'm hoping that if everybody stacks up, intentionally gets 2 stacks of the I-beam and we pop the bubble, it'll do enough damage to get rid of the bubble basically, and also reduce the damage we take by 75% for that duration. And then we also can.
Wait, real quick question. You said get 2 stacks of the I-beam, so run through 2 of them real close together. Don't wait for the stack to fall off.
Basically, yeah, we will stand. We won't really even do that much. We'll just, where we're standing, we'll go slightly closer to the middle because that makes it easier to get 2 stacks of the I-beam. And then just like from where we're standing, because we're going to be at the edge tanking the boss and whatever. So then we'll move slightly inward when the I-beam comes out. When the beam's about to pass over us, we'll pop the trident and just stand still and just let the beam pass over you. It'll probably give you 1 stack, I'm hoping, if you don't move at all. If it gives you 2, then we'll just have you run against the current on 1 beam and run against it again for the other one and get 2 stacks. But some combination of stacks, right? Just try not to get 3, I guess. And then we will see if that is enough to deplete the bubble. If it's not, then we have to take more damage, right? So more people have to get more stacks. But I want to try with 2 because the guide was saying that 2 is intentionally getting 2 is enough to do. And then in the second phase, when the mindbenders spawn, we want to try using the trident for one of those sets instead of using the storm relic. So what we'll do is you'll gather them up the same as before. You'll pop the bubble, and then you'll kill the mindbenders and the little void spawns that come out of them. And the void spawns will do raid wide damage when they die. And so if we're in the bubble, then that will get absorbed by the bubble. The only problem is if the damage is not enough to pop the bubble, in which case we'll probably get killed by. And so we want to experiment a few times to see if that is indeed the case or not, because that will affect whether or not we can use the trident. The main purpose is to use the storm relic less so that people are not in danger of dying from it, and also because it will let us have more DPS and to push the phase faster. And our goal in the last phase is to basically go in a circle clockwise around the edge of the circle, dropping our Oblivion Tears behind us, and try not to use the relics for as long as possible. And I'm thinking, in worst case scenario, in the last phase, since there's one overlap with like lasers and I think hysteria, and that's the one that we would want to use the trident for. So using it in phase 1 right now is just to experiment. Normally we would just not use it and just do it as we always have been doing it because it's not a huge deal. But in phase 3 there will be a lot of damage going out, and so if we can use it to mitigate that I-beam and have everybody survive it, then that'll make that phase easier.
So we're testing the I phase technique in phase 1 this time.
Yes.
Does the damage change between phases?
I don't think so. The damage from the beams does not change, and the damage soaked by the relic should not change. We do take additional damage in phase 3 because there's those little like leeching torment things out and whatever else, but it's not a huge difference.
So And in phase 3, obviously, we're going to be trailing the boss as the tank kites
Yeah.
them.
If you remember Ursoc from Emerald Nightmare, how we all stacked behind the boss, and as he dropped those big circular pools under him, we kind of moved in a circle around the edge
Yeah.
of the room. It's basically the same as that, except we're not doing the whole soaking, the charge, barreling charge thing. So instead, the tank swap, the tank with the ads can always stand in the middle, and then the tank with the boss will always stand near the edge, and we the raid will wait at the edge whenever a tank swap happens for the boss to reposition back where he is and whatever, and we can do that. And then in the worst case scenario that we have like 5 ads up and we still haven't killed the boss, which I'm hoping is not the case, then we can pop the bubble, pop the trident, and just stack everything together, because the boss is going to take reduced damage anyway, but we don't care because we're trying to kill the ads. And then once that's clear, we can try to finish the phase. But the goal, based on the successful log that I saw, is that if we can finish phase 3 in 2.5 minutes, then we will get exactly 4 ad spawns, which is still bearable for the tank. And this way, in phase 3, if you are not a tank and you're a DPS, your only job is to not AoE when the Hysteria goes out, and to move forward slightly when an Oblivion Tear spawns, and to stack correctly for the leeching mechanic. But there's not very much movement required, I guess. There's not that much that will kill you outright from doing something wrong, if we can completely ignore the beams because of the trident thing. Any
Okay.
questions?
So for phase 3, you want the ads at low health as much as possible.
You want them around 20 to 30%, yeah.
You want me
You
to
don't,
switch?
you don't want to get them too low, because if they get down to 1%, they'll.
Okay, so then I won't switch to.
Don't go a dot spec specifically to do that. It might be good if it lets you funnel more damage into the boss or something, but go whatever will get us through phase 3 the fastest. That's the most important thing. So whatever gets you the maximum boss DPS for 2.5 minutes at the end of the fight. Phase 1 and 2 is only important so much as we get through them at the correct time. So we need to push phase 1 before the second eye beam, and we need to push phase 2 before the third mindbender spawn. But those are the only DPS checks in phase 1 and 2.
Okay, so basically, when does phase 3 start? What's the percentage?
He's at like 45, I want to say.
Okay,
It's
I
very
just
low.
want to make. Yeah, I just don't want to like use my 3-minute cooldown at 50%. Then.
Yeah, you want to save it for sure. And we're going to bloodlust after the first beam in phase 3, so that everybody's positioned correctly.
DV, can we review stacking for the Insatiable Torment or
Yeah.
placement or?
So that's it's going to change a little bit, because basically, say I have Torment and I'm stacked with 4 other people. Whenever that Torment goes off, it will do 20k damage to all 4 of those people and heal me for 80k. And if I am at full health, it doesn't matter. It'll still do 20k damage to everybody, and it will heal me for nothing. And so if all the torments are stacked and all the raid is stacked, then everybody's taking unnecessary 20k ticks of damage that aren't getting converted into useful healing. So all other things being equal, right? If you're not taking any additional damage, then one other person in per torment is enough to keep you topped off. It will heal you for exactly the amount of damage you're taking roughly. It's like 28 to 26 or something close to. So if 2 people have torment, right, and 1 person stands with them, it will still heal the 2 people with torment correctly, right? It will just do 40k to that 1 person.
Okay.
So the goal, right, when you start getting torments in melee, we want to keep them apart as much as possible and have 1 or 2 people. 2 people is a safe number, right? That kind of accounts for other mechanics, and also doesn't result in too much extra damage going out. So if you're a DPS, right, your job is to keep an eye on the people around you. If you have torment, you want to stand apart from other people who have torment. And if you don't have torment, you keep an eye on the people who have it and make sure that if they do not have at least one person standing next to them who doesn't have it, then you need to stand in there with them. And then eventually, when so many go out that people like can't, avoid stacking them on top of each other, it's better to stack two of them like in sets of two rather than all overlapping weirdly, right? You want discrete sets of two and then have, one or two people in each of them.
Okay.
Yeah, and the people who have torment have the little circle around them, correct?
Yes, they have a red circle or something like.
Can torment be bubbled?
Sorry, I couldn't hear whatever that was.
Can torment be bubbled?
Probably not.
The torment, I have no idea. I don't know if it'll remove it or if it'll just prevent you from taking the damage, but you can try.
Can we get a closet?
Or two.
Had 3 for a minute.
What is that 60?
What are these
That was
numbers
runes,
mean?
not Vantis runes. It was the wrong one.
Oh, it's only JKM. How many do you have left?
I have a lot. I have 3.
Okay. Savage is logging on. So that's what that is for.
And we're having no upper decker tonight.
I'm not sure where she is.
I vaguely remember somebody was going on vacation or something, but I don't remember.
I think that's me a week from now.
Ah.
Yanta, where's your brother-in-law? Is he working?
Oh, he's vacationing.
Oh, okay.
I think he's in Chicago. He's going to be here this weekend, but he
Oh,
may
he's gonna
be
be in
heading
New
to
York.
Vermont.
New York?
Yeah, well, he
Oh.
was in Chicago, and I know he's going to Vermont to see his parents, and then he's going to come here on Friday for the.
Mhm.
Means I'm going to have to drink a lot of tequila.
Oh, darn.
Have to. Major hardship.
Well, the nice thing is there's so many ways to drink tequila.
Sinking under the floor.
He's too heavy for the instance.
It's a squishy floor.
May text him and see if I can see what he's doing.
Nah.
All right.
Savage says he only has about 30 minutes.
All right, let's just run the experiment polls and just see what happens. So you don't really have to do anything here except stack in the bubble when told to.
Okay, well, who's gonna be holding the...
So Zutter will have the trident, and she will use it at the specified time.
And where does she plan to be? She won't probably be the active tank then?
Well, we're gonna bring whatever ads are there in close anyway. This is just to see what the bubble does. So we'll just stack together wherever the bubbles. And we'll try to be close to where the boss is currently standing, slightly nearer to the center of the room than like right at the edge. Right?
Okay. But other than that, try to do everything normal. Drop the.
Yeah, you can like jump in a circle or whatever if you want, but that's all we're testing right now.
Okay.
And then the general rule is we are going to tank the boss near the edge of the circle and move in a clockwise direction to avoid tears. So if you're melee, you want to be in the counterclockwise direction behind the boss, and range, you want to be slightly behind the melee, but still close, so that the tears will drop in a controlled manner. Everyone's ready.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Pay the price for your defiance.
All right, let's practice our stacking. So the first tear is always going to be out. So let that one happen, and then we move in. There's the tear. Move back in for obscurity. All right, let's position. Range, get in a little closer. Get behind the boss in a clockwise direction. Eyes are coming in 7 seconds. So let's pop the bubble right when the beam's about to pass over. I don't know how long it lasts. There's the tear. Here's the beams. Let's get the bubble up. Everybody stand inside. Take a stack, and then stand on the edge so you get a second stack. There we go. All right, so it is enough. All right, let's go ahead and die. Run out of the outside.
So that broke the bubble?
Yes, it was enough. And it looks like we don't even need to get 2 stacks necessarily, right? It's okay if just a couple people get, but if everybody just gets one.
Don't release.
Do not release.
Oh god.
Keep your hand off the button.
Until after you're dead.
Hit release.
Rira, don't stand by the boss. Go to the other side near the entrance.
I can res one person. Yes.
Res me.
Or
Hey, I don't have.
Chanta.
I deleted res because it's not a DPS boost.
It's in your
Rira, we're gonna delete you.
Hold on, that's cleanse toxins. I gotta find it. It's somewhere on.
It starts with an R. I think it's redemption.
Redemption. There we go.
It would be faster to release and run back.
Yeah. He's like the worst person to soulstone.
Exercise in raid discipline.
Rousing.
Okay, and then now we'll try one more time, one more pull with the Tempest Collar, and to see if it's enough. Actually, no, it'll be enough. If the beams are enough, then so let's just assume that that's the case.
Hey, you missed me.
So we gonna
So now phase 1 is going to go back to how it was pretty much. We're not going to use the bubble there. This was just a test because we're going to use it in phase 3 for the same mechanic.
Okay, so are we gonna put a feast down or no?
I would say, yeah, you can go ahead and put it down.
I just did. Sorry, Chanta.
As long as we didn't put 2 down, I don't give a rat's ass.
Tejas mailed me 6 and I have a whole bunch, so.
Were they refrigerated or just put them in the mail?
Oh no, this shit was left out on an 80-degree counter all night. Have you seen Tauren houses? They're tents.
Sounds like we got worm food.
Yeah.
It's just extra pro.
It's a horde racial to be immune to food poisoning.
Okay. So now, the only small change in all phases is that we're going to tank the boss. The boss is going to be tanked going in the clockwise circle, like we said. And so if you're ranged, especially, you want to make sure you're not floating around the middle of the room for no reason, right? You want to be near the edge of the circle, near one of the existing Oblivion Tears, so that when one inevitably gets targeted on you, it will spawn behind the raid, and we can keep going in a circle slowly. Okay, and then the same thing applies to, using the Tempest Caller on transitions to clear the ads. And then in phase 2, we're going to do one more experiment where we try to use the bubble to cover us while we kill the Mindbender ads and their spawns and see if that's enough damage to break. If it is, we'll just continue as normal. There's no need to force a wipe after that.
Okay. The tanks are going to be using the taunt swap to move the boss. That's when the moves will happen.
Well, they'll have to move for the taunt swap.
No, we'll be moving it continuously.
And then they'll be moving along the edge of the circle as Oblivion Tear spawn behind, right?
Okay.
The Braid's going to move in a circle. But the Oblivion Tear will be targeted on you, like people in the raid. So you need to be standing, near an existing one, not too far forward.
We'll try to overlap them as much as possible.
Okay, and then I gotta make my Tempest Caller group. Okay, so group 5, he will be the Tempest Caller group. We're gonna be using it less hypothetically, right? If we're using the bubble to do some of the mechanics, so hopefully we won't need as many people to do it, but we will still have you 4. Just be on the lookout for where it is and be aware and just pick it up proactively if you see it and tell everybody that you have it.
Okay.
Are we not going to have attack power? Do I need to use a scroll?
I'm fine with no attack power.
Does anybody else give attack power other than warriors?
No.
Nope, just warriors. Why do you think Upper Decker plays that character?
It's not because of that.
It's because it's simple.
It's because you can just
Mash
blow
bombs.
shit up.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Bow before your true master. His eyes behold every unnumbered crime.
Be out on the edges for the first thing. First tears out, get back. Position in the circle. Range, you want to get close up. Now stack on the front edge of that tear. We do this one normally, dodge the beams as you normally would. Get near the edge. Ground effects.
Cool.
Here's a transition. Switch and use the relic. Dropping. Get positioned correctly. We're going to use the shell on the first vendor spawn. So get them close together and DPS them as normal. When they're low on health, we'll use the shield. And everybody needs to stack inside the bubble.
I have the crown.
Don't use the crown. Get these guys down. Go ahead and pop the shield now. And just kill them and kill the things that come out. Was it enough or not? Doesn't look like it.
There's one up.
That's the Guardian. Get back in position. Range, you should not be in the middle. Get behind the boss.
Can you tremor?
Tremor. Use the relic for this set of mind benders. Use the.
That one got cast off.
Is that too early?
Just kill it. Get in position.
Should move the boss and melees and or ranges.
I had to swap.
Okay.
Got crown. Tell me when to do it.
When these mind benders are low, just do it now. Get them together. We're getting face. Not enough for that guard. Oh well. Alright. Let's get him against the edge somewhere, and then we'll just move in a circle from. Let's follow the tanks. We just have to get him. Get behind the boss. Watch your friends that have the thing, the leech. We're gonna use the bubble for this. Don't AoE. Stack for the bubble. Put the bubble up. And was it on cooldown?
Oh. That was bad.
Oblivion Tier.
I assume you want no res.
Throw it on the healer.
I have one, so everybody die right now, and I can mass res. Go stand
Don't
outside
release.
in the shit. Go stand outside in the shit now, and don't release.
Eyes of Insult.
They were not the ones you sought, Master. We will find others to open the way.
Dice made a mistake.
It's okay.
Bad
actually
dice.
was going really well. Is everybody reached? Did you get that, Ace? Militia? Yeah, okay, good.
Dice's mistake was that he released.
So the
Bad
only
dice.
the only change I would suggest is that before you announce use the relic, announce weaken the ads and have everybody switch to ads and get them down under 50%, and then use the relic, and that way we're sure the big ads will go.
Well, maybe we need more dots on them. Because they should all be dots.
Well, it's a balancing act, because if you put too much damage in them, they heal up entirely. So we want to get them down, but not too far down. That's why
Okay,
I think
fair
you want
enough.
to start on it.
Were they ever too low? Because if they weren't, yeah, we're not dotting them enough.
I mean, it should not be that big of a deal to burn an ad down from 100 to 20 in that 15 seconds if you're focusing. And you always want to be damaging the highest health one, right? Because the relic will also do damage to the. So even if it's not under 20% when the cast starts, right, it could still reach under 20% over the course of it. So your job is to get everybody under kind of even, you know.
Okay.
All right, so I do like how that that worked out though. So to clarify, right now that we've done all our experiments, phase one is normal. We just go in a circle as we are. I think melee range, we need to work on getting actually against the edge of the circle while we're moving, right? Drifting near the center just results in Oblivion Tears being dropped there, which screws us up later. So you need to be as close to the edge of that circle as possible, unless, like, even if you have to move out for one of those void crash things, just move back in as soon as it's gone. And then in phase one, we will take the beams normally. You'll dodge them as you normally have. You'll try to take one stack, let it fall off, take the other stack, let it fall off. We'll heal through it. And then phase two, we will use the Trident Bubble on the first set of Mind Menders and use the Tempest Collar on the second set like we just did, and it was fine. And then we will, in the third phase, we will use the Trident Bubble on the first I-beam like we did on our first experiment with phase one, where when the I-beam comes out, we'll stack in the middle and pop the bubble. Everybody stand in there, try to take, stagger your stacks if you can. But it's more important to stay inside the bubble. And then after that, we will get a second set of beams, and then that one we will healing cooldown through. And then if we do our jobs and kill it in 2.5 minutes, we will not get a third set. And then we will also be using the Tempest Collar at every phase transition to clear whatever ads are remaining. Does that sound good?
Yeah, sure,
Any
go for it.
When are we bloodlusting?
We will bloodlust in the third phase after the first beams come out that we've soaked with the bubble and everybody's reset and in position.
Okay.
So that set around, we didn't have the bubble for
Yeah,
the
that
first
said,
time?
we just didn't bubble when the beams came out, but it will do the same thing that we were doing except the bubble. All right.
Okay, one other thing I noticed, the void crash. It's a bit annoying that sometimes the void crashes will kind of force the melee to be up almost into the melee. Oh well.
It just happened.
Yeah,
Don't
we just
worry
can't
about
do
it.
anything about it. I mean, it's going to target someone no matter what, right?
Yeah, so just want to move the boss a little bit when that happens.
But it's better, right? The boss moving will necessitate everybody else moving forward. So it's better if you're ranged to strafe. If it's like, if you're standing at the edge of the circle and it targets you, you strafe towards the middle of the room, let it land, and then go back to the edge. That's the safest movement pattern for us, because we want to avoid pulling the boss further along the circle until an Oblivion Terror has spawned, forcing us to do so.
Okay.
And Kales, you'll probably have to pick up the Void Stone for the second time, because I think we're going to push phase 3 before I can pick it up again.
Okay. Tell me when to use it, and you have to say something about Void or Kales, not just use the thing.
4,
Yes.
3, 2, 1.
Pay the price for your defiance. His eyes behold
First Oblivion Terror, get in the middle of the circle, wait for it to spawn. Get near the edges. First beams, we do these normally. Reposition. Ground effects. Don't stand in it. Burn the guys and use the thunder.
I'm gonna need a external CD.
Now?
Void Stone's going up.
Yep, right now.
Dropping. You gotta get out of that. Just run. We'll reposition afterward.
Totem.
Just reposition counterclockwise behind the bot. There's the ads. We'll use the bubble for this one. There's the bubble, kill them. And kill what comes out.
I don't have a totem for this.
Just burn them down inside the bubble.
You can't do that.
Yeah, it took too long, I guess, but we got it. We can recover.
I have the crown.
Call Undying Guardian.
You said Grey Staff.
Oblivion Tier. Gift of Insult. Hysteria.
Make sure you're dotting those ads. Don't be in the middle of the room unless the ads are up. Or they're up. And use the Tempest Caller for this one when they get low. Grey Staff, that's you.
Remember to kick.
Now?
Yes.
Oblivion Tear. Unknowable Terror.
Get Larissa up.
Oblivion Tear. Consume
My
Essence.
mana.
We gotta use the Tempest Caller again for this one.
Kicks out.
Gift of Enso. Hysteria. Oblivion Tear. Call Undying Guardian. Unknowable Terror.
Alrighty.
Oblivion Tear.
Go ahead and die outside.
We weren't able to
we
kill
lost
him.
too much time. We weren't supposed to get that spawn, so
Oh,
it just got delayed too much. It's because I miscalled that fear, and that lost us DPS time.
I think Akunda and I both put down our totems on the first one, unfortunately. Akunda,
Yeah.
I'll always get the first one, so you can have the second one out.
Okay, got it.
Just in case. I mean, usually it's just one or two scragglers. That time, yeah, that time the bubble was in it.
Yeah, and if y'all could just call out, that would be helpful.
See you later. Let's.
Alright, guys.
I have to go to the
Night.
bathroom, so let's go ahead and break now.
Yeah. Thanks for the invite for a little bit.
Yep.
Yeah. Almost had Mikhail's.
Go ahead and don't drop a feast. We'll break
I
once
won't.
everybody gets. And I might
Well, we're
rejigger
breaking, right?
the orders. Yep. But no, I like this approach a
I
little
do
better.
too. It seems a lot less chaotic.
Yeah.
She's not the
you could announce ads if when they notice that the mind benders come up. That'll be helpful. I've been a couple seconds late on switching.
It's just checking who's back. All right, while we wait for our straggler, does anybody have any questions about the strategy that they don't understand?
Oh, so after we get the first tear down in phase 3, basically range should be on the leading edge of that one and try to just stack them up going.
So phase 3 meaning the last phase.
Yes.
Yeah, so in the last phase, we are when the transition happens, we pop the lightning relic and kill whatever ads are up as normal, and then we will immediately you'll stack the tank will drag the boss when he reactivates to an edge. It doesn't really matter what edge, right? Wherever the tank is, you will stack melee and ranged in the counterclockwise direction, slightly behind the boss, and the boss will always be facing in the clockwise direction. And then, sorry,
range shouldn't worry too much about being mixed in with the melee.
you want to be slightly behind the melee, right? So that your what's it called? Your torments don't overlap with theirs, and like you don't accidentally clip some melee people. But other than that, like there shouldn't be that much space in between.
Like 10 yards.
Doesn't matter before the torment goes.
Before it does matter a little bit because I'm pretty sure the void craft and the tears disproportionately target the range, and if not, it's still more convenient, right, for only the range to have to move when it comes out than the melee, or only the melee to have to move and not the ranged or something. So having people split ever so slightly kind of helps with that.
So the one thing I noticed is we had some ads surviving the Tempest Caller. So if you could call out about 5 seconds or so before we're going to use the Tempest Caller, switch to ads, we might get a few more dots.
Well, the do you mean the Mindbender ones or the Guardian?
Both we're having problems with, but yeah, when the Mindbender ads are out, just say mind ads or whatever.
Yeah, the Mindbenders, the bad thing about them is no matter how much you damage them, if they get a cast off, they'll heal the full immediately. And so it's really a matter of keeping them interrupted and stunned. So this is a good time to be proactive about that and say, they should be marked. So you can say, I have next interrupt on, or I have AoE stun, right? Or solar beam, or Chaos Nova, or I don't know, War Stomp or something. Like I'll War Stomp the next, ad cast or something, right? So that's a good time to be communicative about that, because if one of those casts goes off, then yeah, everything. The nice thing about the Mindbenders is that you can manually kill them. It just costs us damage, right? It just does damage to the raid, and it costs us damage that we have to do to them. It's not as bad as missing one on the Guardians, because we can't actually kill them without the relic. Checking who's back again. So the only slight adjustment we're going to make is in phase 2 with the Mindbenders. You want to start damaging and interrupting them as normal, but try not to kill them. Or you can kill them, but don't kill the little ads that come out yet until we see the big fear circle come out. And let's get out of that first, then pop the bubble and kill whatever little ad. The little ads are not that dangerous to leave up. I think they just do some melee damage. They just do damage when they explode, right? But as long as you don't kill them, you want to just single target down all the Mindbenders individually, and then we'll group up those ads after the fear circle. Outside of the fear circle, pop the bubble, and then let them all go off.
Heretics, you will suffer for this interruption.
All right, everybody's here.
Who among you is devoted?
This is for the pull.
You are nothing. I answer a higher call.
Check your flasks.
Yeah,
4, 3, 2, 1.
Pay the price for your defiance.
Let's get out to the outside. Let the first tear come out. There it is. Get back in.
Oblivion Tier. Call Undying Guardian.
Don't be near the middle. That's not good. Let's go ahead and wipe. Go stand outside.
You don't want to be near the middle, but you can't stand in there.
Yeah, you can't stand in the void crashes. So there
were
was
2 of them overlapped.
Yep. You have to either.
Okay, nobody release. Nobody release.
You have to either move. There was a in that case you have to either move into the box's hitbox or just, get out of there, off to the side or to the back. If you have to soak the Oblivion Tear, then do it. Right, that's better than eating a full force Void Crash because that'll just kill you instantly.
Why are people
Oh
releasing?
shoot, I really sorry.
Bai Chen, you might need to.
I was out of range.
Can you grab?
I can get the
It
people
looks
to
like
edge.
Violable and Pants Master.
Hello.
I got him.
Okay.
Thank you.
I released because I saw our rage leader release.
Oh God.
I think that's an excuse.
I res 3 different people that could res, and we still had people release.
I think the operative thing here is people were releasing literally as I was saying don't release.
The other
It's
thing
like,
is that
it's like a compulsion to click that thing. I kind of get it, I guess.
for the stacking, right? The Void Crash always targets a player, so it's kind of like the Sea Swell and Blockade, where if you're spread or you move early, then you can screw the people who are behind you. So it's better to be a very, very tight stack, and then if both of them are stacked on top of each other, it's just as easy as dodging one. But if two of them are spread out like that, then you kind of lose your lateral space.
Yeah, well, we've been loosely stacked for the first little bit. So.
Yeah, don't be afraid of clipping into other people's hitboxes. There's no penalty for that.
Come eat this food. Oh, sorry. Hold on.
So bad to have demon hunter wings and not be able to fly at all. I'm like the dodo demon hunter.
Be like a penguin demon hunter. Swim really fast or something.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Pay the price for your defiance.
Let's bait the first tear. There it is. Get back in. Void Crash coming soon. Be stacked up. Here's the eyes. Dodge them normal. Transition soon. Don't be in this. Get ready to use the relic soon. Go ahead. dropping.
Oblivion Tear.
Get out of there.
I got this.
Okay.
Oblivion Tear.
Get against the
Call
edge.
Undying Guardian.
Be in the counterclockwise direction.
Are we shocking these ones?
We're doing the bubble for this one.
Hysteria.
But just kill the mindbenders, don't kill the little guys until the fear guys come. 8 seconds. Kill the mindbender. Make sure they're interrupted.
Bubbles up.
Unknown or terror.
Yep, it's in the thing.
Akunda.
Yes.
Oblivion Tear.
So,
Didn't work.
I got out too.
Call Undying Guardian.
Kill the remaining void
Oblivion
spawns.
Tear. Gift of Insight. Hysteria.
I have the crown, just tell me when to use it.
Yep, on the next mindbenders. There they are. Get them down and then use them when you see them get low.
Oblivion Tear. Unknown or terror.
Terror, we gotta run.
Totem.
I did mine.
Burn him down.
Oblivion Tear.
So use it, yes or no?
Interrupt.
You should.
Gift of Insight. Hysteria. Call Undying Guardian. Oblivion Tear. Unknown or terror.
I'm drinking.
Oblivion Tear.
God damn it.
Consume
Mindbenders again.
Is this the one we're not supposed to get?
Yes. Do your best. Use the DPS relic when you can.
Got it.
Gift of Insight.
Tell me when.
Call Undying Guardian.
Use it now.
Oblivion Tear. Unknown or terror.
Gotta run.
Totem.
He's transitioning. Think about it. Go ahead and get this guy kind of low, but not all the. Kales, go clear some pools. Position for this. Get near the edge. We're gonna go in a circle.
Cal?
Oblivion Tear.
All right, get in position.
Do we have somebody ready to do the thingamajig?
We're gonna use the bubble for the. Don't. You're gonna get lunacy in 5 seconds. Don't AoE.
Oblivion Tear. Gift of Insight. Lunacy. Eyes of Insight.
Here's the beams stacked together. Let's use the bubble. Right when they're about to cross. Bubble up.
Call Undying Guardian. Oblivion Tear. Oblivion Tear.
Are you listing?
Yeah. Yeah.
Gift of Insight.
Do it now once everybody's pre-positioned.
Oblivion Tear. Eyes of Insight.
Well, that was a waste of revival.
You should go ahead and lust. Healing cooldowns for this one.
Oblivion Tear. Oblivion Tear.
Damn it.
Oblivion Tear. Gift of Insight. Lunacy. Call
AoE
Undying
and
Guardian.
don't. Make sure you're looking out for your friends that have the debuff.
Oh, we need another Tempest Color.
We will after this beam.
It's way in the back where Lewis's body is.
Got it.
Oblivion Tear.
We just lost both tanks.
Oh shit.
Undying Guardian.
It's fine. So we definitely need to do better damage in that phase, but it does seem doable.
Oblivion Tear.
Did we ever last?
Yeah.
We might have not. I don't know.
No, we didn't.
Oh. Oh wait.
Yeah, we said it 5 times, but no one
It's
did.
okay. So he was at about 20-something% when the third beams came out. So our goal is to kill him as those third beams are happening, basically. So we need to improve our DPS roughly twofold.
And we gotta stop hitting those damn circles because they kept on disappearing.
That would also heal him up and make that phase take longer.
Yeah, every time you hit an Oblivion Tear, it heals him by 1%. So.
We can get it.
Let's get it up at the boss. Other than that, I think the bubble worked well for the first beams, and we were able to. The second beams were in a
really
bit of a
did.
bad position because we weren't able to get the first stack as early. So I think we had more people get us 2 stacks than normal just because of the position.
Yeah.
That's
So-
nothing. Not much you can do.
When someone's clearing circles with the Void Stone, it is not helpful to run into the circles. I saw people like deliberately doing it.
That's fine.
You should be doing that.
Yes, that's perfectly fine.
No, I saw other people doing it, and that delayed me being able to clear the debuff.
That's not true. If everyone just runs into a tear, you'll get the debuff off faster because running into tears doesn't really take it off as fast as just running outside does.
Yeah, you'll need to run to the edge anyway.
Okay, so
Even if you took like 20.
So just clear. What I do is clear 3 or 4 that are clustered together, and then immediately just go outside because you just want to clear a handful, and then let other people clear other ones if they feel like it. But we just need to get that debuff off of you as soon as possible.
The real problem is it being on too long. Is the tanks are going to be fucked.
Can you let us know when it's off too, though? Because if you keep hitting the pools
Yeah,
after
you can
it's
see
off,
the
then
debuff
he's
on
gonna-
you. You can.
Yeah, there should be a big diamond, purple
No,
diamond thing
we'll
on you.
announce when it's off. That's good.
Yeah, and usually it seems like because
Thank
you can
you.
use the knockback to kind of aim yourself at other ones. So if you find a cluster of them that you can kind of clear in a couple hops, and then use the last hop to knock you outside of the circle, then that's probably about as much as you can hope for.
Yeah, actually, just before you go in to remove the rest of it, just let us know because it's gonna disappear anyhow.
I think other than that, it's we need to push phase 2 before we get a third mindbender spawn because that screws up the timing of everything. And we were reliably making that about 15 seconds early last week, so it's just a matter of doing more damage.
It also allows us to have more cooldowns up in the last phase. If we don't have to waste something on that.
And then we'll look at the logs and see if Oblivion Terror healing's that out of control, but it shouldn't be if we're dropping them in the right places. Sometimes it's a little dicey if the big fear guy appears and you just gotta run out however you can. But it's actually not that big of a deal. If a few people get hit by it, we can dispel it and we can heal through it. But just as long as not everybody's hit by it.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Bow before your true master. His eyes running out.
Oblivion Tear.
Get in for the circle.
Gift of Insight. Obscurity. Oblivion Tear. Call Undying Guardian. Void Crash. Eyes of Insight.
Here's the first beam. Dodge it normal.
Gift of Insight. Obscurity. Oblivion Tear. Void Crash. Eyes of Insight. Maddening Eyes of Insight.
Ground effects.
Oblivion Tear. Call Undying Guardian.
Transitioning, use the relic and burn down the guard.
And I need an external.
We're just not even using this.
External
There it is
cooldown.
now.
I don't have one.
Chanted you. There you go.
Dropping it.
Yeah, I got it.
Unknowable Terror.
Got this, Tay?
Oblivion Tear. Call Undying Guardian. Consume Essence. Gift of Insight. Hysteria.
We're gonna use the bubble for this one.
Oblivion Tear.
Stack up, use the bubble.
Unknowable Terror. Custody of the Deep.
Get a totem down for this one.
Toad.
Oblivion Tear.
Kill them inside the bubble. Don't be in that Oblivion Tear. Yep.
I have the crown. Tell me when to use it.
Call Undying
Yep,
Guardian.
next spawn. Focus on that boss DPS. We need to get him to 45 before the third spawn.
Hysteria.
Where are you, Cal?
I had to go get the purple thing.
Unknowable Terror. Oblivion Tear.
Akunda.
There's the mind benders. Get him interrupted. And then use the relic when they get low. Make sure they're stunned and
Oblivion Tear.
everybody should be on the ad.
Get J-Cam up.
Okay, Toad.
I'll wait until after this.
Oblivion Tear.
Yeah, we still got void spawns up and more bindment. Let's go ahead and die. Go ahead and run out.
So for interrupting the mind benders, don't interrupt them right when they start casting because they're just going to.
Okay, Kunda, if you've used one before, don't use it the next time it's up. I'll get the. We'll just alternate them. So if you're gonna do the first one, I'll do the second one.
Got it. I just
And
want to.
if everybody's outside of the circle, like if it's all the way on the other side of the room, there's no need to use it because nobody will get feared. You only get feared if you're inside the circle when the cast ends.
Yep.
Just to clarify, when you guys are calling for totem, that means that we can stay in the fear?
You shouldn't.
No,
It still does damage.
The reason that we did on that one was because they put down the shield inside of it, and so JKM called for us to stay there. I'm just me and Akunda are talking because there is almost always
Yeah, I have
some
a red.
ranged who decides to finish a cast inside of that thing.
Okay.
Yeah, the only one you should stay inside of is the one that we use the bubble for. That's it. Everything else you should move.
I mean, the goal on that one is we're trying to move outside of it before we drop the bubble.
So yeah, the goal there is
not
we
happening.
kill the mind benders, but we don't kill the ads that spawn out of them. So those little sets of 4 void
Resin,
spawns
yeah.
or whatever they are. So you can kill the mind benders and just leave the void spawns up. They don't do like the mind benders dying doesn't do any damage to us, and they can be up while the big the fear guy is up, and then after the fear guy finishes casting, we can put down the bubble, gather up all the void spawns, and kill them AOE.
Okay, I understand. Thank you.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of the tears dropped somewhat to the inside. Because I know I've gotten caught by the fear because I go to run in the straight line
Yeah,
to get out.
if it overlaps with the fear, we
tears
can't. Don't worry about it. It's okay to drop a couple in the middle if you're trying to get out of the fear specifically, because there's not much room,
No,
right?
but what I'm saying is I'm trying to get out of the fear, and people have already dropped tears in the middle.
Well, that's irresponsible.
Yeah, the tears in the middle tend to happen when people are going after the mind benders. So particularly,
If you're ranged, why are you going? You're ranged. You got like 40 yards to hit them.
Yeah, definitely try to stay at max range if you're ranged, because it'll still target you for the tears while it's happening. In melee, you can't do anything about it. We want to definitely distribute those outside of the middle if at all possible, and keep them clustered. Keeping them clustered is useful because not only do we go around the circle slower, but it helps with the void stone healer being able to clear them more quickly if they're instead of being all over the place.
And probably need.
It's just when you see the huge circle that covers about 75% of the room.
Sure.
And it's the cast is super long. So when you see it, if you drop it, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But do you want to get the first one, or shall I get the first one?
Whatever's going to be easiest. I don't
I'll
mind getting.
I'll get the first one, and then I'll tell you when it's your turn, and then we'll just alternate from.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Yeah, and then call out if you don't think you need it, because
yeah,
everybody's out. We can individually dispel if like some rando is a little too trigger happy with the DPS.
this is the one.
5, 4, 3,
No, it isn't.
2, 1.
Bow before your true master. His eyes behold every
Void crash.
every unnumbered pride.
Oblivion tear.
All right, get in the circle for the spawn.
Purity.
Get on the edge.
Call Undying Guardian. Oblivion tear. Void crash.
Void crash.
Eyes of Enso.
Here come eyes.
Oblivion Tear. Gift of Insight. Obscurity. Oblivion Tear. Void Crash. Call
Get
Undying
Luris up.
Guardian.
Actually, we lost 3. Never mind. Go ahead and battle res a healer. Or no healers are dead, right? Here, I'll go stand outside.
Honk.
Don't onk. Just go ahead and res me when I die. And I'll get everybody up. Do we have a
stone?
Alright, nobody release. Take your hands off the mouse and keyboard. Go stand outside the circle.
Been an I-beam problem.
Oblivion Tear.
They were not the ones you sought, Master.
Don't
We
release.
will find others to
So hard.
open the way.
Still some stragglers. We'll come get you. Yeah, we had 3 deaths to double stack I-beam. Not much we can do. So it looks like the first one pretty reliably happens where we have the boss being tanked. So if you just stay where you are, it'll pass over you pretty much immediately and just follow the boss and trust that the tanks know the timing.
What are the purple swirly things called?
Those are the void crashes, and it's the same as the first boss. So the first one's really big, and it'll bounce once, and it'll shrink by one size. It'll bounce again, and then it'll be a small size, and that's the one you soak. So the big size will probably kill you immediately. The small size will
Aren't there
probably
3
take like
sizes?
60%. There's 3 sizes, yeah. So the biggest size will kill you. The second size will probably take about 60% of your health. The smallest size is not a big deal, but you do need to soak it.
Only soak the small ones.
Don't soak the big one or the medium one.
It just felt like they were targeting me that time.
They will
I'd move and they just kept
randomly
following
target
me.
people after they bounce, so you could have just gotten them.
Well, if we're fairly stacked as a range group, you're almost guaranteed you're gonna have to move.
Yes.
Because it's gonna pick one of
Yeah.
them.
Just be ready to
I
move.
think they
when those
just hate you.
They wouldn't be the first mechanic to hate me.
Yeah, so the first beam will almost definitely just pass over us immediately, so you can just kind of sit there and wait for a couple seconds and then not have to move again.
Yeah, I just checked the guild bank. There's no flask in there. Sorry.
That's fine.
5.
You'll just have to make up for it with superior play.
1.
All right. Shall we just give up now?
Is that what you tell yourself about the gems?
Yes.
Oblivion Tear.
There's the tear. It's a little close in, but whatever. Get in for the circle.
Gift of Insight. Obscurity.
Alright, position.
Oblivion Tear. Call Undying Guardian.
Don't be in that tear. First beam's coming soon, and the void crash.
Void Crash. Eyes of Insight. Oblivion Tear.
Ground effect beam. Don't be standing in them. Go ahead and use the relic and kill the ads.
Just use an external on me, please.
Clearing. Dropping. It's not very many up. There's the fear guy, we're safe.
Don't need it.
Get out of the tear. First mindbender spawning, we're gonna just kill them and let the little... But don't kill the little guys until after the next big fear.
Oblivion Tier.
Kill the mindbender.
Unknowable Terror.
Now let's get out of this.
Oblivion Tier.
Then drop the bubble and kill the little guys. Get inside the bubble. Perfect.
Call Undying Guardian. Oblivion Tier. Gift of Insight. Hysteria.
Next mindbenders are up.
Oblivion Tier. Unknowable Terror.
Get out.
This is you, Akunda.
Done.
You're gonna use the relic for this, the lightning.
Tier.
Make sure we're interrupt.
Go ahead.
Just in time.
Oblivion Tier.
I just ate it. I'm sorry.
We're safe.
Oblivion Tier.
Push him. Yes, good. Get that guard. Oh no, it's too late. Just by a little bit. Get those mindbenders gathered up, and we'll use the.
So cool
It's
down.
gonna be up.
Yeah, I guess
Got
not.
it. Tell me when.
Gather him up. Get star interrupted. Use it now.
Oblivion Tier.
Get in
Call
position.
Undying Guardian. Oblivion Tier.
Get a buddy. One buddy only. Or two.
Should we left?
After the lasers.
Eyes of Insight.
Single target only. Here come lasers. We're gonna bubble for this one.
Oblivion Tier.
Group up. Get the bubble up.
Call Undying Guardian. Oblivion Tier. Oblivion Tier.
Are we blow
Well,
those?
Now.
Gift of Insight. Lunacy. Oblivion Tier. Call Undying Guardian.
healing cooldowns for this.
Oblivion Tear.
Tejas, you can't be healed when you're out there.
Can't be healed, period.
Oblivion Tear. Call Undying Guardian. Oblivion Tear. Gift of Entropy. Lunacy.
Single target only. Don't be in the void tears or the oblivion tears. Find a buddy if you're got torment.
Oblivion Tear. Eyes of Ensos. Oblivion Tear.
Is Trident back up?
Call Undying Guardian.
No. It's
Okay,
near dice.
we gotta heal it.
Oblivion Tear. Gift of Ensos. Lunacy. Oblivion Tear.
Tell me when the Tempest is or the
Call
Trident.
Undying Guardian.
I have it.
Go ahead and pop the bubble and then use whoever has Tempest Caller. Just use. Where's the bubble gonna be?
I'll drop it on
No
ad.
one has Tempest.
All right.
Somebody needs to pick it up.
Pick up Tempest and use it. Anyone? The Guardian. That was great. Oh well, it was a last ditch effort. It also overlapped with the double beam.
Call Undying Guardian.
Oh well.
We need to figure out that last phase. That's fucked up, man.
It's just a race.
I think he was healing the whole fucking time.
He definitely healed.
Well, but we never popped the void thing, and a bunch of people stepped.
Yeah, I bounced into one. Sorry about that.
I was one of them, but it was after we'd collected a whole bunch. I don't know
Well,
why
I
we didn't
mean,
pop the void thingy.
yeah.
Yeah, it's just a matter of pushing. We had a messy phase 3 start because we barely missed the cutoff for the Mindbender.
Yeah, that's true.
So if you're a little bit quicker, we won't get that third set of ads, and then you
That,
can.
yeah, and that did cause us to have to use a cooldowns.
Let's do one more pull.
We had 12.9 million healing from Oblivion.
Oh my god, he was at 19 million.
That's the same amount of healing I did to everyone.
I already have. Melissa, do you have that res?
That's true. He was at 18 million health.
Melissa, are you there?
Maybe computer failure again. She's not in Vend, it looks like.
Yeah, she is. Zara.
Oh,
Doria.
there we go. Sorry, I thought it was Carabine.
Yeah. If her computer froze, all the Discord's going to still show her, and I don't think her system likes this particular fight.
Well, there's kind of a lot of spell effects going on.
So I like the delay on killing the ads worked out really well. So let's keep doing that. The second set was a little messier, just because a few of the casts got off, but it wasn't a huge deal. And then if we don't get the third, then that's all we have to worry about. So it's just 2 sets of ads, one of which, so that means we get basically 3 uses of Tempest Caller throughout the whole fight, and then nobody else is in danger of dying from that. So when you have the Torment debuff, just be conscious of where you are and whether or not you have somebody near you. But if you don't have it, it's your responsibility to go stand next to somebody who has it if they don't have a buddy, right?
Oh, she's logging on now.
They can't be. You don't want people with Torment like chasing raid members around who are running away from them. That's not a recipe for success.
Okay, so Tejas, on that last phase, just come stack closer to everyone else. I can't hear you talking.
Yeah, you're silent.
It showed you
Tejas,
lighting up, but I couldn't hear you.
Tejas had Torment on him and kept backing off, and I kept running back
Okay.
to him.
Anyway, just come in closer. I honestly would rather have
It's not a big deal.
more people in. No, like there are people by themselves that are unhealable. That's what is bad. Do you know what I mean?
Is there food down? No. No. Okay.
I thought you were unhealable when you had Torment.
You are unhealable when you have torment, yes. So somebody needs to stand next to you in order to funnel you their leech, and then they get healed instead of you. It's kind of a weird
So I was healing him,
dialysis
but healers
system.
can't heal him.
I also think Tay was saying that people get separated far enough out that they're away from all the healers, and it's causing healing.
Yeah, if you're out of range of us, that already makes it a little stressful. But yeah, as long as you're in range of somebody who is getting healed, then that's. But there's no reason for you to be out of range of everybody else anyway, right? You should be near the rest of the raid. The only exception is when beams come out, and when beams come out, those of you who are one of the donors, if you will, it's even more important that you stay with your buddy, right? Because if they're going to take 2 stacks of the beam, or 1 stack of the beam and then another stack of the beam separately, and the only way for them to get healing is if somebody else is near them. Anyway, let's get the last pull in.
We should blame Buttcoin for not being here for that last one failing.
Exactly. For us failing to make DPS checks.
That's right.
I blame Savas for being the top
honestly, I mean, when you do,
She just wins
close
1
to the
MVP
amount
and then
of melee
abandons us.
has the boss's life left, you know.
Bow before your true master.
You're making it harder.
His eyes behold every
Void
truth,
crash.
every unnumbered cry.
Oblivion tear.
Bait the first tear.
Obscurity.
Oh, it's already out, sorry.
Yeah, I already.
Let's get near the edge, get in position.
Oblivion tear. Void crash. Eyes of Inso.
Here come the eyes.
Oblivion tear. Gift of Inso. Obscurity. Oblivion tear. Void crash. Call Undying Guardian. Oblivion tear. Eyes of Inso.
Ground effects.
Oblivion tear. Void crash.
Go ahead and use the relic and burn him. Use the
Gonna need
relic.
an external now.
Dropping. We're good.
Oblivion tear. Unknowable terror.
Get out of the fear.
Got it.
Oblivion tear.
Get out of the tear.
Guardian.
Mindbenders are out. Group them up. Kill them and leave the ads.
Tear.
We're gonna get them. We'll get them after the fear guy comes.
Oblivion tear.
Here's the big fear guy. Let's get out and then drop the bubble.
Kunda.
Get in the bubble and kill the ads. Good. Reposition.
Call Undying Guardian.
Remember the direction you're facing.
Feast of Insight. Hysteria. Oblivion Tear.
Do you have the relic?
I do.
Okay.
Move the boss, please.
Dot up those ads. Here's the next set of mindbenders. When they get to 50%, just pop the relic.
Unmovable Terror. Oblivion Tear. Oblivion Tear. Feast of Insight. Hysteria. Call Undying Guardian.
Sorry, Austere. Your health is low.
Oblivion Tear.
I know. It's bad
Get out
right
of the
now.
Unknowable Terror.
Get out of
That's
the
easy.
fear. We gotta push him. There we go. Push this guy and then kill him with the. Go ahead and use the relic now. The lightning.
I think I'm dropping that
Sound
too
cool,
early.
Danny?
Oh.
Don't there.
Should I go?
No, just save it. Let's get him in position. There's an Oblivion Tear. We're gonna go counterclockwise. Put the edge of the circle to your and get up against the edge.
Oblivion Tear. Call
Oblivion Tear.
Guardian. Oblivion Tear. Feast of Insight. Unison.
AoE, don't AoE. We're gonna bubble these beams.
Oblivion Tear.
Gather up. Use the bubble now. Just stay in here.
Call Undying Guardian. Oblivion Tear.
Of the tear. Oh, he just healed for fun.
I got bumped it into one.
Oblivion Tear.
What happened?
I think we had tears inside the bubble.
Gift of Insight.
Don't AoE.
Oblivion Tear.
Sorry.
Eyes of Insight.
Are we last stating?
Yes.
Call Undying Guardian.
Healing cooldowns for this one.
Oblivion Tear.
I don't have any.
Oblivion Tear. Oblivion Tear. Feast of Insight. Unison.
Don't AoE.
Call Undying Guardian. Oblivion Tear. Eyes of Insight. Oblivion Tear.
I dropped the crown.
Tear. Call Undying Guardian.
It's a lot of ads.
Not much we can do.
Unison. Oblivion Tear.
I have
Do
no
your
more
best.
of the mana. Sorry.
Spells are free.
Oblivion Tear. Eyes of Insight. Call Undying Guardian.
This is
Oblivion
gonna
Tear.
hurt.
Well,
You know, as long as we don't stand in the pools, we got this tomorrow.
10 million,
yeah,
10 million Oblivion Tear healing. That was a little bit.
and he was
I
at
got
16
bounced
million.
3 of them. Ugh.
Yeah, once you start getting bounced, then you're kind
I
of
literally
screwed.
hit one, then bounced the next,
Yeah.
and bounced the next. I was like, "What is this?" And then I
So
bounced into it.
the pro tip
Okay,
is
so
that
we're
it will always knock you backward no matter where you're facing. So you have to face your back away from additional tears.
Okay.
But that should never
Gotcha.
happen anyway, right? You should.
Yes.
So we'll look
Folks
at the
gonna be here
logs.
tomorrow. I
Yes,
hope.
I actually
Yeah, I
will
can't.
Oh, Nina.
So we'll
Hey.
see again tomorrow, but the strategy seems to be better,
Scholarship
so we'll
awards.
keep going.
Oh, is he
Have a
getting
good night.
scholarships?
Yep, they just haven't told us what.
I love it. That's great. Okay. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
look, it is what it is.
Oh, that was better than last time.
It was. I feel that was really really good. I like
Yeah,
this
you guys
strategy
got
a
this.
lot.
All right. Well, good night.
Good night, all.
Good night.
Night.
Right.
Right.
Okay, give me just a sec. As you guys find a tank. Austere, you can actually grab it in your adventure guide now.
It's not that hard, right? Nah, Larissa's gonna go. Never mind. This is a bad week for me. Stanley Cup Finals.
It was a bad afternoon for me. Europa League final.
Ooh.
I
You're
don't
an
want to talk
Arsenal
about
fan, I
it.
forgot.
I don't
Yeah,
want to
well,
talk about it.
yeah, no, I saw it at work.
There's a lovely assault going on in Soderstrom.
As a Manchester United fan, all I can say is I hope Tottenham beats Liverpool 90-0 on Saturday.
I'm hoping Liverpool beats Tottenham 90-0.
I know, because you're an Arsenal fan. You won't even wear white.
I don't think I own any white clothing.
See, while I disagree with your choice, I appreciate the buy-in.
Is this about soccer?
Yeah, no, football.
No, actually, it's not football. What country do you live in? It's
I don't know
soccer in the United States, okay?
You know, even the Brits originally called it soccer, so you know, don't let them give you that crap.
Oh, I'll give the crap. I lived in
Look,
Europe.
I just happen to live around a whole bunch of like 22-year-old Seattleites who are wearing a scarf in August, and they're all, I'm an hugest Arsenal fan. I'm like, no, you're not, bitch. You're from Seattle. You don't even know what soccer is. Soccer is something your children do. So quit pretending. Like there are so many people here that are like that. I'm like, it's great when you get into it, but stop going to your children's games and saying the score was 0 something. And I just, do you know what I mean? There's like
Yes,
this
I
huge,
do.
there's this huge,
But you know how
like,
much flack I catch for that being a hockey fan in Dallas?
oh, I can only imagine, right? Oh my God. See, that's like more up here. That's more, it makes more sense. And there's like people from BC and stuff. You know what I mean?
Right.
Also, we're
But
about
you
to
know,
get
and when people bust on me, it's like,
I'm
look,
ready to.
I drive a Zamboni.
Yeah. Why is it not viable?
Oh, Larissa is in
Oh,
healer and
Larissa,
damage and not tank.
you got switched to tank.
I am tank.
No, on your selection menu.
On your yeah,
let's
when
re-queue.
It didn't even act. It actually didn't even pop up for me. Yeah, I'm not. I'm not getting a pop up.
We just redid it. Did you hear the sound?
Yeah, I heard the sound, but I'm not
Okay.
getting a. I'm not getting a select.
Are you not able to click accept or decline?
Correct. Okay, let me. I have a. I think I have an add-on that's. What's the one that does like auto looting and stuff?
yeah, Vobam. What was so bad is I actually took off early to watch that.
Sorry, trying to get this worked out.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Austin. I actually had to cut it on. I had to Zamboni the ice, and it was right at halftime, and that first half was ridiculously awful.
Try to queue again.
I mean, and then you get 5 goals in 23 minutes.
I had a thing called Layatrix was taking it over for me and not letting me select. Ooh, I haven't done this one for a while.
Austere, I think I've told you this before, that there's no light blue in my house for Manchester City. As much as I hate them, I loathe that Liverpool Football Club exists. So this Premiership League was just a shit show for me.
Yeah, see, I at least don't mind Liverpool because they're fun to watch.
You're dead to me.
I mean, I've liked Jurgen Klopp since he was at